My name is Michael Young. I'm with Ombra Restaurant in Studio City, and I'm going to demo for you guys how to make some homemade pasta. We're going to make ravioli with potatoes. I'm going to show you a little bit with a ragu of porcini mushrooms. So we're going to start very easy, especially if you're at home. You can just get a pasta attachment for your KitchenAid, put it right in, make sure it's nice and tight. We're starting with an egg pasta. This is the traditional pasta for the ravioli. This is 1 kilo of flour and 18 egg yolks. The reason why this pasta is so yellow is because we're using organic eggs. So the chicken eggs kind of show what they eat. So it's all grain-fed, no corn, just really nice. So I'm going to start by taking a little piece. I'm going to make a little bit of ravioli at a time. I'm going to give it a nice bit of flour. I made this dough about an hour ago and just let it rest so it's a little bit easier to work with. I'm going to just roll this out very easily with my wood rolling pin. So I keep turning it like I am because this is basically developing the glutens, and it's giving it kind of like a network where the pasta, the gluten strands hold it and give it a much finer texture. Once we kind of get it going like that, I'm going to turn our machine on. I'm going to set it to the lowest number, and I'm going to start feeding in the pasta. After putting it in once, I fold it in half, kind of knead it a little bit with my fingers, turn it, and do the same thing again. And what we're doing is we're making this much more complex network of gluten strands by continuing to turn the pasta and feed it in. Once I put it in for a couple times, I'm going to give it a little bit more flour. And now you can see we're getting a really nice sheet of pasta. I'm going to fold it in half, put it through again, and as you can see my hand. At this point we're going to turn the machine off. I'm going to just kind of stretch out the pasta a little bit, and I'm going to cut off the unnecessary ends. So one of the great things about the electric, in particular the KitchenAid, is a great machine. But about the electric pasta roller, as opposed to the hand crank, as this is going through, you're able to cycle through the pasta and just keep it going in one continual motion. The problem is, when you do it by hand, if you stop for any reason, it'll actually crease the pasta. And at that point, at that crease, the pasta can open up in the water, and if it's ravioli, it'll break the ravioli open. So now I'm just taking my little cutter, and just going through and cutting squares of the dough. Don't worry about being perfect. My chef in Italy used to say that life's not perfect, nor should pasta be. And the thing is, what he was really going for as well, too, is that if you want your pasta to look homemade, it better look homemade. If it looks like it's put out of the machine, people will think it's put out of the machine. Here I have a little filling. This is a potato filling made with potatoes, Parmesan cheese, nutmeg, and a little bit of egg. I'm going to just put a little bit on each piece of pasta. I like doing it in a piping bag because it makes it very neat and precise. So then what I do in order to seal this is I take a little bit of water, and just to seal the pasta. I take the pasta dough, wrap it over, and then just pinch. And that's our perfect ravioli. A lot of people will tell you that you should use egg to seal the pasta. To me, that's really overkill. The egg's going to create the dough, it's going to plump up, and it's actually going to make a really thick dough, which you don't want. And then when it cooks in the pasta water, the eggs will coagulate, and you'll get this really kind of gummy, thick pasta. This makes it really nice and delicate, and it's the perfect pasta. We'll take these little beautiful ravioli that we made and plop them in the water. So I'm going to just drop our little ravioli right in the water. They should only take a couple minutes to cook because they are so fresh. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab a saute pan, and I'm just going to add a little bit of the mushroom ragu that we made earlier today. And we'll put it right up on the stove. We'll take another saute pan and just grab a little bit of butter. Let's toss a little bit of butter in there. Just have a little bit of butter to drizzle on top. We've got our porcini ragu, we've got our butter, and we've got our pasta cooking away. Just kind of halfway through the cooking, give a little bit of a swirl. We've got our nice warm porcini mushroom ragu. Now we have our beautiful ravioli that we just made. Parmesan cheese, Parmigiano Reggiano, the real deal. Our butter with sage. And there we go. So we have ravioli di patate con salsa di porcini. Very easy.